Hi. So I had a question from Jacob Archer, and he's asking, do you believe that your diet has an effect on out-of-body experiences? And do you eat a super healthy diet, or does it matter to you? And can you drink nothing but Mountain Dew and eat fudge rounds and leave you in your sleep? So I think it's a great question, and probably a lot of people wonder about that. Like, how much does your diet and your lifestyle plays into the part of getting out of body, doing astral projection, and things like that? And I'm not the expert. I haven't tried shifting into all these rounds, but I'm not sure, like, should I tell you my life story or should I tell you my opinion on that? But let's just go into the subject. When it comes to me, I probably, since I was a kid, I was not aware of what's happening in the world, like up to 14 years. So for 14 years, I was, like, pretty much living carelessly, and I wasn't paying attention to what's in the food, to all the chemicals or all the things that they put in that. So, whatever my parents would buy, if it's chips, if it's chocolate, if it's soda, I would probably get it. Like, oh, it's cool. It's like, it tastes good, yummy, wow, great. And I would be like I would be like a really sweet tooth. I would go on that stuff. I would love it. And I had addiction on chocolate. Like, it wasn't that bad, but I would love chocolate a lot. And for me, yeah, like up to 14 years in my childhood, when I was still like developing and all, I had the ability to get out of body without knowing what it is. I had the ability to remember my past lives, to do different things, but then life happens, and I'm not sure if it was really my diet and getting more junk food, or also the lifestyle, and probably I think both played a part. Being, my surroundings were kind of suppressive, life got hard, and then I kind of got my ass kicked by people around me and stuff. So I got like really suppressed and like sort of started hiding inside and like not talking to people. Different things happened, but I also at the same time I was drinking like soda, like Lithuanian soda, like not the Coke, like it wasn't my favorite, but like Sprite or whatever. Like I would do that, and maybe Pepsi. Some like my bros like loves that stuff. Chocolate chips, like different things. I would do that in my childhood, and then at 14 years I find out like what's going on in the world, and that we have chemicals in the food products and different things, and what happens to your body when you get it. And I'm like, oh, not good. So that's kind of like, it wasn't scary, but I was sort of became more aware of what's in the food, and I made a like very strict decision from now on: no more junk food, no more chips, no more that stuff. And it was like kind of hard adjusting, because wherever I would go with school, people from school or different things. I cannot call them friends. I don't have friends except one probably. So anyway, I would go out with people or different things, and everyone's like drinking energy drinks, going to McDonald's and stuff. And okay, I go with them, and I'm the only one sitting in McDonald's, like hi, the only one who doesn't order anything. Like that would be kind of awkward, but I started like paying attention to what I eat, and like I was sort of talking with my parents, because in Lithuania, or at least in my family, my parents or people in my surroundings are not approving of anything that's vegan or vegetarian, and it's must be like you live in the cultural surroundings, like it's Eastern Europe, you have to eat meat, it's a must be, your body, like you will not survive without that stuff, you need protein and all that shit. I mean, it's not crazy, but like people have certain beliefs, and I had to do my own kind of study of what will happen if I eat certain foods, what will happen if I develop my systems. But the thing is, at a time when I started switching my diet, when I started to no to all the junk food, I was also working on myself and my life and all the things I do. And like, for example, I think from 5 years old to 14, I haven't had that many Ubis. I've had them, but not that many, and I wasn't aware of what's going on. And then I switched my diet, and I started eating like no junk food, like maybe chocolate from time to time. Like I would still like eat chocolate up to like 20 years. I've like now I'm 22, so 2 years of no sweets and stuff, like great. But for quite a long time, I was like saying no to junk food except the chocolate. I would probably like still treat myself from time to time. And up to that time, I was still like working on myself, developing techniques, and like finally at the age of 14, I learned like what the out of body experience is, what the astral projection is, and how to like what do you need to do to get out of body. And for a whole year, when I learned that oh, you need to take care of your body, you need to have a daily routine, you need to work really hard if you want to get out. And my goal was simple. I love this sort of person. He is in another continent. He knows nothing about me. I'm this naive girl, like, I wonder if I can get out of body and meet that person somewhere else and maybe have a relationship. And that was the only drive that they had. Like, I want to try, I want to see if I want to see if that can happen. So that was the thing that was driving me. and I decided to work really hard on it. Meaning, like, develop a daily routine, drink a lot of water. Like, some people say a gallon, but for me, like, it's just 2 liters, or like a liter and a 1.5 liter. So I can drink a whole bottle of water easy enough like nowadays. But back then, I was not much of a water drinker, so I literally had to, like, okay, here's a glass, and I would have to fill this whole thing up with water, and then practice drinking. And that was, like, a little hard thing to do for the person who was drinking coffee or teas or different things. And I quit coffee like a long time ago, and I'm out of their products. But here it is. So for a whole year, I was like no dairy, no meat, no different things. I was really working hard on myself, like developing techniques and developing a daily routine. No junk food, no different things, but drinking a lot of water, like doing that sort of deep breathing, practicing techniques like emotional freedom tapping, like you do when you want to do all those like acupuncture, except like it's tapping, same thing, and various techniques to get out of body, like wake up and go back to sleep. Reality checks and different kind of visualizing methods, different things like toning, chantras, toning, chanting, mantras, and meditations, different things. And I was like working every day. I would wake up an hour earlier before I have to go to school, and I would practice. Like literally, okay, I would like dress up, get my water, and drink drink the water, and then I would sort of practicing Hinduism and different things, like having my own murti, if you Google that out. And basically, for a whole hour before going to school, I would be meditating and visualizing and doing processes in my head. I get back from school, it's about 4 p.m., and here it is. Before I do anything else, I just change my clothes, and for the whole hour, I give into chanting, meditating, working on myself. And before bed, like whatever that would be, 12, like midnight, 1 a.m., 11 a.m., p.m. But I would basically work on my diet and work on my schedule, but like morning and daytime and before going to bed, I'll work on myself, do meditations, do sort of energy work. And I haven't read up on how to do things that much, like not in meditation, not how to visualize, not how to do things, but I was doing sort of whatever felt natural to me. And that natural thing, you don't have to know much about it. There is no right way or the only way to do certain things. And for me, it was like, okay, that feels natural, that feels good to me, that's what I'm gonna do. And whatever, like it would be energy filling myself with the energy, or sort of visualizing something. And I think that visualizing process is just a main and huge thing in my life, because when I go to bed, I love visualizing. Whenever I hear a word, or someone can be telling the story in the background, or just reading something, when they say a word, I see it before my eyes, and they can tell a story like, oh, this boy was going to school, and I will see it with my own eyes, like I see it right in front of me. So whenever I hear someone, and I can visualize it. Whenever I listen to music, I visualize it, I see it, and every single note, everything, like that was like the magic for me. I love seeing things, and basically I go to bed, and here it is. I can visualize what I'm gonna do when I'm out of body, what I'm gonna do when I have a lucid dream, and I would basically lay in bed trying to fall asleep, and at the same time working and just like, what's gonna happen if I get out of body or have a sort of lucid dream. And I would basically create this fake dream and sort of visualize it, have the story going and everything else. And with all that, I basically shift myself. Like, I sort of visualize this sort of thing. God damn it, these sounds out there. Sorry about that. But I try to fall asleep. I visualize the story of what I'm gonna have. I close my eyes, and here it is. And I fall asleep, and I go right into what I visualized. But then the story expands, and I can keep on going and do different things. But that sort of thing, I was like working every single day for a year. No rest, no like, oh, okay, like I'm too lazy to do that. Like, I was literally determined to reach my goal of what I wanted to do out there. And in that time, like my goals started changing, but I got a better understanding, I got a better feeling state, and that was like driving me, because like I really got on that. So here it is, and years on later, I still work on my diet and what I eat and stuff, but here it is. I cannot say that people have to eat really healthy 24/7, and this is gonna make their life much better, and they're gonna leave out of body all the time. No, getting out of body is hard work. You need to really work on yourself and your beliefs and how you live and all this stuff. And diet is one of the things that will help. But you can eat your junk food. You can drink like some Mountain Dew, Coke, or whatever you want, and still leave out of body, up to a certain level. there is a limit to how much your body can take any of that stuff. And you can enjoy yourself for a while. You can eat your junk food and enjoy yourself with your drugs, your alcohol, whatever things. But there will be a time when you do that too much, and you can calcify your pineal gland, you can damage your thyroid glands and different things, and there it goes. And what happens after that is that you might not pay attention. You might live for 20, 50, 60 years with like, no, it was cool. I just had like a great life. I enjoyed myself. And after that, you're like, I want to get out of body. We'll learn how to visualize and have those lucid dreams and like do astral projection. But during that time, all those fuzz like sounds away. During the time, basically you mess yourself up without knowing. You enjoyed your life, you had fun, but you messed up your body, and now you don't have those visuals. You don't have certain feelings. All of a sudden your body doesn't have the things it takes to get out of body as freely and as easily. So you can get out of body when you're just a kid, when you're a teenager, when you're in your 20s, 30s, it's still easy enough. But the more you mess your system, the more you use junk food and all the alcohol or any kind of drinks is going to mess you up. And that goal of getting out of body becomes harder. So I can say, yes, you can still consume your stuff and you can still get out of body, but it will not be easy. And the more you toxify your body, the more you get your pineal gland calcified and different things, it's going to mess you up to a certain point where getting out of body will be a really hard thing to do. And while you were still a young organism, which is like, it's easy for me to say, I'm not living in the surroundings where I have tons of chemtrails, where I have like tons of electromagnetic radiation and different things, and I'm not being messed up by the surroundings. But you can have a healthy lifestyle, a healthy diet, and you can still live in the surroundings where they have chemtrails, electromagnetic radiation, 5G and different things, and it can mess you up a lot. So it's not just the diet, but also lifestyle and where you are. And cool, let's say you isolate yourself from everyone, you're in this island where there's no chemtrails, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no nothing that can mess you up. And you have you're eating your coconuts in this sort of island, and you're having a great time, and you still cannot get out of body. There's not just diet. You also have to check with your lifestyle, and if you have any problems in thinking and different things, you have to solve that. And so, I think when you want to get out of body, everything is connected. Your lifestyle, your diet, your daily routines, the way you think, the way you live, your beliefs, your visuals, everything will connect. And the more you can sort of make sure that everything's working on your line, the better it is. And I believe that some people who are not living healthy, who are drinking alcohol, who are doing drugs, who are eating junk food and just enjoying their life because they only live once in a year, except they're going to keep on reincarnating in any case. Not everyone, but some people will, without their no knowledge or stuff. I think that they can still be messed up and still get out of body. But it's just a rare case. Cool, if you can get out of body once in 6 months while living on a unhealthy diet is great. And there's a thing that can play a part in it. You can have a really bad diet, but you can sort of hate your life so much that you're disconnecting from everything. Disconnecting from this life, from your body. You're disconnecting with your thoughts, how much you hate being here, and you sort of start disconnecting from this reality, and you get out of body. That can happen. But at the same time, if you have a better diet, and I'm not saying become a vegetarian or vegan, stop eating all the meat and dairy products and junk food, and eat only oranges. No, not like that. You can have lots of great things in your life, and just make sure that treat yourself whenever you feel it's right, but also make sure that your body is doing great. Make sure that your body is still healthy while you can work with it. And I believe that there's always the turning point where even no matter how hard you messed yourself up, you can probably still change your diet and make it go back. Like there are facts where scientifically proven and everything's like working, if people need science and stuff, people have dementia, people have amnesia, people forget everything, and they've had really bad diet, and they were they had obesity and different things. And what happened, they switched their diet and became fully vegan, eating only fruits and veggies. And what happens is that they stay on that diet for quite a few months, and the memory starts getting back. And they stay on that diet for a year, and the whole dementia thing, the whole amnesia thing is out. They have all of their memories back. So I think that no matter how much you mess yourself up, and hopefully you haven't used too many drugs or alcohol or different things, and you haven't done too much damage, but I believe we can still make a change in our bodies. And it's easy for me to say, I'm still young little kiddo in this world, but there are like people who've been doing drugs for 50 years. I've had calls with them, and like, we've been talking, and they have visuals a little bit, but they mess themselves up with drugs or alcohol, and for them to get out of body is really hard. And they've been like practicing and doing this sort of work more than I did. And for 15 years, all those visuals, all those techniques, and all those like processes, and yet their body just doesn't allow that. So I cannot tell you how to live or what's best for you, but I believe what is good for me is making sure that I take care of my body. I eat enough, I get enough supplements, and what do I eat specifically? Okay, tell us, or we're gonna, So for me, it's pretty easy. I like eating bananas in the morning. That was like, cool, that's good for me. Sometimes I can get like tuna salad, and that's like tomatoes and cucumbers and salads and some tuna and a little bit of oil in that, and like I'm filled up. And usually I have a sort of intermediate diet, which means that I eat every 16-17 hours, and for me, like, having one meal is enough, and I can just go with having a huge bowl of salad. I'm gonna treat myself. I love eating, I love food, and I love cooking, so I can have that. I love noodles, so I might like add some salad, like noodles in my salad, and just have that. And that one big bowl that I'm gonna eat gonna like take me an hour to eat, because I'm a slow eater and like I love to chew and everything. And there's this rule for me, like, to chew like 30-40 times, so it's a thing. But I can eat like this whole salad bowl, and 16 hours later, like next day, I wake up and like, what's now? And like I'm gonna choose basically my plate. But at the same time, like, since I had Rich 150X come over to Lithuania, I like sort of pulled myself like off the leash and like, okay, here's some freedom, little one, and enjoy yourself. And so, okay, like I had a pizza the other day, and a few days ago I was having some, how do you call it? Flakes, I guess, like corn, like not corn flakes, but maybe like goodies for the morning and breakfast with yogurt. So I had yogurt, and my body's reacting to all those things. I had a little bit of yogurt, and here it is, like I'm already getting my spots on the face, so my body's like, what the fuck are you doing? So like my body's reacting. But I'm not doing it too much. I'm paying attention to what I'm eating, and yet my body like has a limit. So for example, I eat less of what I'm used to, and like probably salad and more of junk food, like pizza and cornflakes with yogurt, or I hadn't had milk, well, once, like, because this pizza was too freaking spicy, but still, like, my body's reacting to it. And what I've noticed is that if usually I have 5 rubies a night, which is like really usual, and I don't even have to work for it, now I have 2 rubies a night because I've messed up my diet, and I believe it's playing a part in it. I haven't changed my lifestyle that much except of what I eat, and I believe that like if I make like, okay, I don't want that to happen, and I'm gonna make a rule and like cut all the junk food and allow myself to eat healthier, or what I assume that's healthy for me and good for me, and like because of what I've read from Dr. Robert Morse or Dr. Stephen Gundry, I think that if I stay on the diet that I believe is good for me, I will get back onto my usual 5 rubies a night. And so that would be probably my answer. Like, I cannot tell you how to live or what's best for you, because every person will react to the food differently. You cannot have the perfect diet, because that sort of thing probably doesn't exist. It's sort of individually different for everyone. And I believe that if you were to focus on what you eat, try to probably eat less junk food, less things that will be toxic for you, less things that will affect your pineal gland, and at the same time include more of vitamin B6, and like you can have your melatonin, you can have nootropics like ZXR, but like make sure you have plenty of vitamin B6 and D4, and these like D12, D4, these are like really important to you. But basically work on your memory. And you can like different exercise, like for me, like my diet, like for my lifestyle, I can even wake up and like okay, first thing I'm gonna do in the morning is brush my teeth. But I'm right-handed, so I can brush with my right hand. But I brush with my right hand in the evening before I go to bed, and with my left hand, which is like alien. Like, how do you use this hand like when you brush your teeth? And it becomes like really hard and difficult. But I use it because like you have this sort of brain hemisync. When you're using your right hand, you're using your left like brain, and when you're using your left side, you're using right. So it's like sort of mix. And basically, I'm used to using my right hand all the time when I'm brushing my teeth and stuff, and left hands now as it becomes a challenge. But at the same time, when you change your normal activities, for example, you're using your right hand to write, to do something. Don't jerk off. It's just not that. It's too easy. But the more difficult exercises for your hands, you can change simple activities and just use different body parts. And now, since I'm brushing my teeth with the left hand, if I'm making my bed, and I'm gonna use more of my left hand in different things. If I'm writing, I'm gonna use my left hand. It's weird. It's alien. I don't like it. It feels really uncomfortable. I'm out of my comfort zone in different things. But at the same time, what happens is that my brain becomes into that learning zone, and it pays more attention, gets more focused. And what happens is that the hemisync the hemisync. So you're not just using that part, but both parts are now being used, and your brain goes all into full motor zone. But at the same time, you can have conversations with people, and you can talk to people, and sometimes people go like that. They're not necessarily blocking the information from you, but what happens, they're using the right hand, using this, using the left hand, using this, and they block it, and they use both. Same with legs. They sit here, and boom, they cross their legs. They're using their hemisync, and what happens is both of your brains are being used, brain sides, right and left, and it just increases your potential, more power, more focus, and at the same time, it activates and gives you more ability to be more conscious and aware. So you can try brushing your teeth with left hand. Try writing with different hand, or you can be left-handed, right-handed, but just try using the other hand to do more difficult tasks in your life, and notice how it affects you. Because for me, it greatly increases my ability to become more aware and more sort of conscious in my dreams, where I can literally shift into getting out of body really fast. So if I have 5 rubies a night on a good diet and a great lifestyle, and I can have up to 10-20 dreams, I dream a lot and I wake up a lot during the night, which is easy for me to have lots of dreams and I keep coming back or have tons of different experiences. So instead of having those dreams, if I focus on myself and my lifestyle, and I have the great awareness of how to do it, when I fall asleep and I go into the dream, my awareness, because of the hemisync happens, my awareness is much greater. And in the dream, I become aware, I'm focused, and I get out of body much more. So that's sort of usual for me, and that's easy enough. But I would like to know how it works for you. If you've tried any of those things, if you're maybe you're trying it right now, maybe you've tried it in the past, how is it working for you? And also, please share, do you think diet is helping you in this world? Have you noticed any changes? If you've changed your diet, if you changed your lifestyle, different things. And then again, I'll just make it clear, getting out of body is not based only on what you eat. And if you can help your diet, it's going to be great. But you have to do a lot of things to get out of body. It's not just one thing. And the best method that I can find and probably recommend to others is not necessarily what you live and how you what you eat and how you live and all, but when you go to bed, you basically just visualize and just affirm that you can get out of body, that you are getting out of body, that you remember your experiences, that you are dreaming, that you were becoming lucid and all those things. But just affirm that, tell yourself that I can do it. You're on your side, you're just relaxing, trying to fall asleep, and just you probably don't have a quiet mind, and if you're thinking, think something about getting out of body and think something good about yourself. You can visualize a great tomorrow, or think about great tomorrow, oh yeah, tomorrow's gonna be great, I'm gonna be successful, I'm making money, I have great friends, I have great relationships, and you probably just think something good about your life. And with all that, what you can do is just focus on getting out of body. I can get out of body. I'm fully aware. I'm fully awake. I have the ability to get out of body at any time I want. And when I dream, I get out of body. And different things, but just sort of create a sort of text and affirmation and put yourself, you have the sort of task before you go to bed, but your brain, the last task is very important to you. And when you go to sleep, you can fall asleep, but your brain is still executing the task that you wrote down. So if you are the creator of your own life, if you are the writer and your brain is the publisher, you write down the tasks, the test or script of what's going to happen for you tomorrow or the day after that. Your brain is still executing it and publishing your book or your writings. And so if you can write all the good stuff about getting out of body and your ability to do that, not I want, not I will, but you are doing it in the moment. And even though it doesn't feel like it right now, but just put it in the present. Right now, I am getting out of body. I am out of body. I am aware. I can get out of body at any time. Just like write down all of these abilities that you can have, but when you fall asleep, that program will still be executing and you have the ability to get out at any time. And so your diet, if you eat healthy, but I cannot tell you like the healthy is the only way. No, like there's tons of things where you can like make your food like variety, but eat more of the good stuff. Just include more of the good stuff in your diet, and that's gonna help. But like healthier lifestyle, healthier diet, routines, and what you do, your visuals, all of it is connected. If you just do one thing at a time, that's gonna be great help. And if you do more than one, it's gonna build up and have great habits, have like great ability, and for you to get out will be much easier. So yeah, I've talked a bit all over the place and we had some weird sounds in the background, but hopefully that wasn't too much of a thing. So for those who are still watching, since Christmas or like tomorrow and stuff, I can give away like 5 out-of-body bootcamps from richquest.net. So, in the comments, if you're still watching, be sure to drop down your comments, your thoughts, and if you want to get out of body and you want to have a bootcamp, just let me know, and I'll give you the information on the email. So, happy Christmas, happy holidays, and enjoy yourself, and I hope this video is helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye.